Hey, all you VIP kid teachers out there. I thought I would just jump on and do a quick video about today. Today was different. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 classes today. I was counting them because after a while they all started running together. So I was up early this morning working and just finished up. But of my 12 classes, I had 6 assessments. I love assessments. I actually wish there was a way to just be an assessment teacher, but I don't think they offer that. I just wanted to just make a few comments about assessments. Something that I've been thinking about is often teachers take assessments and they treat them like a real test, like a hard test. But what we're really trying to accomplish with assessments is to see or gauge where our students' learning is going. Like, they're starting here, and we've introduced the unit and we've taught them a lot of new words and concepts for their grammar. And are they making progress? And then we take the opportunity to share that with the parents. But don't forget, we're also sharing that with the Chinese lead teachers as well. So they're getting an opportunity to see how is the student doing. Now today I had the opportunity to do assessments for all of my own students. So they're all students that I teach on my own. So they don't have other teachers, and so this gives me a good chance to see if I'm hitting the mark. And so I honestly view those kinds of assessments as an opportunity for me to test my own teaching as well. One thing I don't do with assessments is I don't go hardcore. I'm honest with my assessment, but what I do try to do is give them different opportunities and angles to see if they can still pull that information out of their heads. You know how it is sometimes when you're taking a test and you look at it at a question and the format is a little different and you go, man, what is it? What is it? And I can see that in my students sometimes because I've noticed that as I have been the one teaching them this unit, then all of a sudden that slide comes and it's in a different format or it looks differently and they're confused. And so I try to come at a different angle and maybe I'll model the first one for them and show them how they can do it. But the other thing I do is sometimes I will try to get the same information out of them, but with a different format and just see, do they know it or are they just confused by the slide? And then at the end, I'll zip back through and I'll go to that slide and then I will say, all right, let's do this again. And 9 times out of 10, they can do it. That helps me to see it's not that they don't know the information, it's that the format just got them a little nervous. Because face it, our students get very used to the patterns of the slides. So we have to remember that. We don't want them to have the slides just memorized. That's true. We want to make sure that we're clearly assessing their information like as they gain the information. But at the same time, we want to be fair to them because sometimes it's just hard. They look at the slide and go, and then all of a sudden you change up the way it gets done and they go, oh, I know that. I had that twice today where a student literally went, oh, and then they were able to give me all the information really quickly. When that happens, I think I need to be careful that I don't just automatically go, nope, 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 that I give them an opportunity. So if you have a student who perhaps is in that situation, my encouragement to you is to take that time at the end of class and rather than maybe play a game or read a book, I go back through and I look at some of the things they struggled with and I just review it with them. And I give them a chance sometimes to do the slide again. I also use assessment time as a little bit of a teaching tool. Some people don't, they just simply grade, grade, grade. Now I try to do a little of both, but I do go back through at the end of a slide if I see, let's say they're reading so that I can test their fluency and comprehension. I will still go back and teach them the words. I don't spend a lot of time like I would in the classroom, but I'll underline a few of the words and then hop back and just say, oh, let's say this again. Let's say this again. And then when I get to comprehension, I try to note, okay, maybe the text was really long. And so maybe I'll flip back and I'll let them take a second to read again. And then I'll go back to the questions and then say, okay, now, and ask them to give me the answers. Because just like me, when I'm reading, sometimes I read something very quickly and then I have to think about, what did I just read? Oh, I better go back. So I'll flip back and give them a minute to just look at the text. And then I'll go back to the comprehension questions and give them a chance to try again. Just a few of my tips for unit assessments. I think they're a great opportunity to have fun with the student, but what I try really hard to do is give that parent 25 full minutes of instruction. I know a lot of people like to read or play games, and that's okay too, especially if the student just zips through and they know everything. No big deal, right? They know it all. Sometimes I just like to sit and talk. So I come up with questions to ask them about that maybe relate to some of the terms that were used in the unit so that I can get them to talk freely and get that conversation time. Sometimes a game does that, right? And sometimes reading does that as well. But often, more often than not, I go back and reteach because I feel like it's time for me to teach them, right? And I try to get them to be talking more. So if I have 5 full minutes free at the end, then I try to get as much conversation out of them as I can. And so it's a good opportunity for us to show parents, hey, 25 full minutes of your student talking as much as I can get them talking and me giving you your money's worth. That's my little unit assessment tip of the day. Have a great day.